Okay, thank you everybody. It's really late and I'm sure everyone's really hungry. Well, at least I am anyway. And I just love Madrid and I want to go out and eat tapas and generally kind of be out and enjoy Madrid. But this is me. Obviously that picture was taken last week, as you can tell. I've had 10 years of working with law firms. I actually came into legal in a really strange way, which is that I was the chief exec of a company which I floated over in the UK, and during that process grew to absolutely hate my lawyers, which I think is kind of a natural thing. And when I sold that company, I really wanted to find something that I wanted to do around legal and how to revolutionize law firms at the time. Found a law firm in the UK that wanted to go through a really big transitional change. And started work with them on a project that then turned into a much larger project. That company is called Mishcon de Rea. I don't know whether people know Mishcons, but they went from being a very old, traditional law firm into something a little bit more exciting, and they're now sort of growing in a really big way. About 7, 8 years ago, I got a phone call from a piece of LegalTech. And they said, look, we're based in Dubai and we want to be in London and we want to be in New York. And we've been recommended to you, as in to me, because you know lots of lawyers and you know lots of people. And I thought, yeah, I do kind of know some lawyers and I do know some people. So I introduced them to the people I knew at places like Clifford Chance or Freshfields or Linklaters and all of these big law firms. And I got the company to do a demo. And from that demo, I would then speak to them and say, well, what did you think? And they said, yeah, it's the worst piece of legal tech they'd ever seen. However, what we did come across at that stage was that 8 years ago, there started to be this enormous wave of legal tech solutions coming through. Companies, as in law firms, and very quickly in-house teams, started to see a load of emails coming through. Some people were having innovation, some people weren't, some people were big enough for that, and we'll come on to that in this talk in a minute. But what became very obvious is that there are certain bigger companies that got a large share of voice. Some of the new startups haven't quite done the same. So I started a consultancy 7 years ago. 2 years ago, I raised funds from the LegalTech Fund over in the States, who I work very closely with, and that's where we are today. So we work as trusted advisors to law firms of any size, in-house teams of any size, and the idea is to be curious, to see what's out there, to understand that it's a minefield of information, and everybody, including the people over there, are going to tell you they've got the best solution by far. So LegalTech's going through this enormous rapid growth. However, and please excuse this, but law firms are still pretty slow on the adoption curve. That's all kind of changing, and the last 18 months have seen, with generative AI, everybody become a little bit more excited about what legal tech can do. And I think we're at a tipping point as we sit here today, which is as we move away from what Harvey and Legora have done and what generative AI is doing into, right, I see there's a place for that, but what about everybody else? So now we're talking about how do we cut through the noise. Ignore that slide. So with law firms and with in-house teams, the important thing is to be curious. It's to understand that there are things out there. There are solutions that are going to suit everybody. It's very good when you have a large law firm that has 1,000+ people. They've got loads of people in an innovation team who sit at things. But what if we're not? What if we're a mid-sized firm? Mid-sized firm's slightly different. What about if we're based in Spain and we're not based in the UK? And we don't have the same kind of capabilities as some of those larger law firms. Well, tech at the moment is made for everybody. It's finding the use cases. And again, that's what we're doing. We work at the moment with 75 of the top 100 law firms in the US. We work with 75 of the top law firms in the UK and thousands of in-house teams. And we do this all free of charge, by the way. So I don't charge anything. The idea is for you guys to see what's out there and to understand that there might be a solution that fits your need. So how do we cut through the noise? That's the most important thing. So the legal tech market is crowded. Geez, there's 25 people solutions just over there, literally just one step away. Times that by a lot, and you get to around 7,000 legal tech solutions that are out there trying to service in-house teams and law firms. But how do you kind of get past the hype and into what's really going to help? So there is definitely tech fatigue amongst lawyers. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I was born to do law, I wasn't born to do tech, is part of the issue and part of the problem that many people see. They also see lots of tools overlapping, lots of understanding that this isn't an easy process, but it can be an easy process. Doesn't have to be it. So vendors, if there are any vendors here, vendors can make this easier for everybody by trying to do clear comparisons, transparent use cases. It's the most important thing. The worst thing that you can say if you're a legal tech solution right now is, we can do anything, we can do everything. And a lot of Gen AI solutions right now are sitting there saying, yeah, we can do everything. Tell us what we want to do. Well, that doesn't kind of help law firms or an in-house team. Need to be transparent, need to know what the use cases are. Look at your tech stack. What have you currently got? What are you using? A, can something be replaced? But B, you're going to have some overlap. But finding the right tools for the right people is going to be the pathway to success. And that's what makes it sort of very important. Vendors need to define the category that they're in, and they need to get their point of difference across. One thing that I talk about a lot, and I talk at loads of conferences and stuff, places, law firms, is that you don't always have to have a defined problem, okay? The problem may not be so well defined. If you do have something, that's great, but if you don't, be curious, okay? That's the most important thing. Be curious of what's out there. You may not even realize it's a problem right now, but it will be a problem in 6 months, will be a problem in 12 months. Who knows? It's going to be, kind of difficult to find exactly what's the problem is going to be. So be curious. Go out there. See demos. Be honest with the people, with the vendors at the beginning, and sort of say, look, I'm just out here. I'm looking. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm trying to do it. Demos can inspire you. They can inspire your teams. They can inspire the law firm, the in-house team. And that's really important. Take the demos. That's what we do as a company. As a consultancy, we introduce new ideas. Have a look. It doesn't cost anything to have a look. Have a look. Start with problems where possible, obviously. Sometimes you'll have a problem. And to make sure that the people who are going to be using the tech are involved at the very beginning of all of this. Try and make sure that you pilot things. Again, this process has become a fairly easy one. All of these companies have, anyone that I work with, has been through security testing, has made sure that everything is safe and secure and sound, and that's really important. Understand that you're going to get things wrong. That's really important as well. Not everything is going to work. Not everything is going to be amazing. Failure is a part of innovation. Okay? And don't think, oh, God, I'm worried that if I fail, I'm going to be judged. You're not going to be judged, I promise you that. But what you are going to do is you're going to find what is going to be the right route for you. But don't be scared to fail, okay? Adopting a fail-fast mindset is super important. And make sure that your procurement teams or the people who are going to buy, and obviously lots of law firms and in-house teams may not have a big procurement function, but make sure that, again, everyone is involved and that they allow for some flexibility. Vendors become very important, and I'm very big on this, that lawyers, whether that be, again, in-house or law firms, don't have to always take on the responsibility. Get your vendors to do a lot of the success criteria. Very important. Support everybody. Everybody needs to be supported, and taking some risks. And it's not massive risks. Remember that. It's not going to be financially big risks. At the beginning, small pilots, make sure it works. I've got 1 more minute, so I'm going to be real quick. So 18-month roadblock is something that is kind of important because law firms work slow. and difficult. Make sure that everybody's involved. It takes a long time to set these things up. It takes a long time to get things to work as they're meant to work. And measure everything. Measure the success. And the success isn't always down to how many people are using it. It's who's using it and whether they're getting good success from it. So that's the important bit. And that's it, really, because I know we've got to go. Here's some of the big players that you've all heard of. There's 6,500 others that sit underneath these. Look past just all of these big guys. They're really great, don't get me wrong. I work with Legora, I work with Harvey. I work with quite a few of those people as well. However, I also like to work with the challengers and understanding that those challenger brands that fall around the outside might be super interesting to you. So don't discount. Don't always think I have to go big. I have to go to these ones that I've heard of. Actually, there are some things that are coming up that are absolutely changing the game. And they're the people that you want to be involved with. They're the people you want to be testing with. They're the people you want to see. So feel free, link in with me. I love a bit of LinkedIn. And have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much.